When the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission launched its lawsuit against Ripple in December 2020, accusing XRP of being an unregistered security, few could have predicted just how long and consequential the case would become. Years later, after endless hearings, legal filings, and speculation, the case has finally been resolved. But a question lingers. Was this battle simply about enforcement, or was it part of a much bigger plan for XRP all along? The lawsuit that changed everything. The SEC's case was filed under Jay Clayton, but it was Gary Gensler, appointed SEC chairman in April 2021, who inherited the battle and chose to carry it forward with full force. This was surprising to many, because just a few years earlier, Gensler had actually praised Ripple and XRP. In a 2018 MIT lecture, he highlighted XRP's efficiency and potential as a cross-border payment solution. Yet once in power, his stance hardened. Instead of supporting innovation, he framed XRP as a textbook case of securities violations. Why the about-face? The test case theory. For many in the XRP community, this was never just about Ripple. The SEC lawsuit was a trial balloon, a way for regulators to draw a line in the sand and use XRP as the example. By litigating Ripple, the SEC forced the courts to address crypto classifications head-on. By extension, XRP became the first major coin to achieve regulatory clarity in the US. The long legal battle kept XRP in a regulatory cage, holding back adoption while allowing Wall Street and global banks to prepare for what comes next. Seen through this lens, Gensler's insistence on pursuing the case wasn't just antagonism, it may have been the necessary step to prepare XRP for global legitimacy. By timing and ISO 2022, here's where it gets interesting. The lawsuit dragged on for nearly 5 years, and what just happens to be unfolding in 2025? The global rollout of ISO 2022 standards, which SWIFT and every major bank in the world must adopt by November. Now consider this sequence. Ripple is sued in 2020. Gensler carries the case forward, keeping XRP suppressed. Meanwhile, Ripple expands overseas, building partnerships with Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Just as ISO 2022 goes live, the case ends, leaving XRP legally cleared to operate in global markets. Coincidence or carefully orchestrated timing? Controlled adoption. There's another layer to the theory: institutional positioning. By keeping XRP locked in a legal battle, its price and reputation were suppressed for years. This meant retail investors lost patience, while institutions and banks had the opportunity to accumulate quietly. With the lawsuit resolved, ETFs on the horizon, and SWIFT now openly trialing the XRP ledger, the stage is set for XRP to transition from the crypto under attack to the backbone of tokenized finance. If this was indeed part of a larger plan, then the SEC's battle against Ripple wasn't meant to kill XRP. It was meant to shape the timeline of its rise. These counter-arguments, of course, there's another interpretation. The SEC under Gensler has been broadly hostile to crypto, not just XRP. Exchanges like Coinbase and Binance, stablecoin issuers, and DeFi platforms have all faced heat. From this view, the case wasn't a master plan. It was just regulatory overreach. But even if that's true, the outcome is the same. Ripple survived. XRP has clarity, and its timing with ISO 2022 couldn't be sharper. Of the bigger picture, whether by design or by accident, XRP is uniquely positioned in 2025. Legal clarity in the US, ISO 2022 compatibility via RippleNet, global recognition as a bridge currency for tokenization. Momentum toward institutional adoption with ETF filings. The lawsuit may have felt like a setback, but in hindsight, it looks like the crucible that forged XRP's role in the future of money. My final take: was Gary Gensler's SEC crusade part of a bigger plan for XRP the whole time? We may never know the true intent, but the results speak for themselves. XRP emerges battle-tested, strategically timed, and ready for the $100 trillion tokenization era. Sometimes the hardest battles are exactly what prepare an asset, or a movement, for its greatest mission. What do you think? Was this all coincidence, or has XRP been on a controlled path from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to LTL Productions so you don't miss the next big story in crypto's transformation.